Why, hello there, and welcome to my channel. My name is Zinc, and I love to play games, so I thought it would be fun to also record the games and put them up on the YouTubes to see what people think about it. And clearly you love to watch games, and that's why you're here. Otherwise, you are in the wrong place, sir or madam. You need to find a different video, or you can stay here and see if you like it or not. Your choice. Anyways, this could be very well the first video on this channel to the viewers' eyes. I did have some another series I had a while back. I hadn't done recording in a while, and it was a short series, and I'm not on the server for that anymore, so it doesn't even matter. So I think I'm gonna take it off, put it unlisted. I'm not gonna get rid of the videos because I never do that, but they will not be available to view too easily unless the the link gets out. Anyways, I will be playing other games on this this channel, such as Minecraft, or really any other game that catches my eye. Yeah, and I want to also make a series of animated videos. I have some great ideas, but I just have never been able to implement them because I don't have the know-how. I've never made animation before, so I need to get on that, get a program like Blender or Maya, and work on that. But I will do that eventually. So I intend to make a series of animated videos, and I hope you will enjoy them when I get to that. But without further ado, let's get into this Kerbal Space Program. Start game. I think we're gonna play in career mode. They just updated it to 0.240549, whatever. And it allows you to pick another variation of what they had before. Before they only had science, which is in science mode, you gather data and research new technologies, but it doesn't have money or reputation. So in career mode, it has everything. So I think we're gonna do that because it seems like more of a challenge. Oh, cancel. Let me cancel. Let me make a name. Zinc. Right. Let's see, what should our flag be? Line. Minimalistic. Here's some cool ones. R&D developments. I like that one. So we are the development team. Yes. I'm going to write that. As you can see, though, I did have a resume save, so I've played this game before, so I know a little bit about it. But here is the title screen. Don't get too excited because you know it's a lot of stuff and you don't really understand it. But I'll show you everything, and you're gonna get it all. I think these. I don't really know what these are, but oh, that's your reputation bar actually. I guess it's negative reputation or positive reputation. I'm not sure. I've never really dealt with a reputation before, but this is science and this is your money. And then there's a whole series of buildings here. Don't worry, I'm going to get into each and every one of them. I don't really know what that one building's for. Launch a new vessel. Oh, okay, so this is the mission control screen, and we'll get into that later. That's something else. So let's get back out of here. I was wondering what that was. I'd never seen that building before. But we got 2 launch pads here. This is for aircraft. Yes, you can make aircraft. I have never made one before, honestly. I've never made one that flew. So I'd be very interested in doing that. And then this is the other launch pad for space vehicles, like rockets and stuff. So you can make those there. You could probably launch them from either pad if you were determined to. So let's get into here. Alright, so the first thing you're gonna do is make your first spacecraft, and you don't have a lot of money. How much money did you have? Let's go back. We had 10,000. So we have 10,000, and a good way to get more money is to go into here and look at your available missions. And missions can give you money. You can actually lose money if you fail it, apparently. Ooh. And then you gain science and reputation as well. And it expires never. There's different levels of missions. Alright, so this is launch a new vessel. We can do that one. That's going to be the first thing we do. Altitude record of 5,000 meters. I think we can do that. Escape the atmosphere and orbit Kerbal. I don't think we can do either of those. So let's continue. So we got our missions, and then we have to choose our astronauts, because we got some people going up in these vehicles. They're not just, you know, doing for their own safety. So we have a whole list of astronauts here that we can choose from to add, and as you can see, they have courage and stupidity, which I don't think really factors in at the current stage. So it really doesn't matter. They're just there to have funny faces. But you can have these three right here that are available for missions. So if you have a space vehicle, you can put any one of these three guys in there, up to 3. Some of the pods have more seats in there, so they can fit more Kerbals. There we go. Kerbalans or whatever the hell their name is. Sorry, I probably shouldn't be cursing. I'm gonna try to stop that. Alright, so let's get a couple of guys here though. Stupidity's low on this guy. He's pretty smart. Let's get him. Alright, he's pretty courageous. That is. Alright, and he's smart. Sure. He's average. I'm gonna call that guy average. Joagel. I don't even know how to say that. Rodster Kerman. Pretty good. I like this guy. And those are the only guys that stand out to me right now. So let's go back, and you can lose them if they die, but we're gonna try to have a spotless record if possible. Alright, and then there's only 2 more buildings here I really have to show you. This one is for detecting spacecraft and other space-related things out in space. And as you can see, this is Kerbal, our home world, and where all your spacecraft take off from. And this is Moon, right here, one of the first moon orbiting Kerbal. And this is Minmus, the second moon orbiting Kerbal. So you got 2 moons, and then on top of that you got a whole series of worlds out here that you can go to, and each one of these worlds has their own moon. Can I change focus? No, I can't. Oh wait, I can. Alright. As you can see, this one right here, Eve, has 1 moon, Gilly. So I think it would be a good mission. We would pick planets, and we'd go to them and go to all the moons. That's what I want to do. I want to explore our moons. You know, get a spacecraft into orbit, like maybe a space station or something in orbit, and then we can start traveling to other planets. Maybe even get out to see this guy right here. Let's see. Does he have a moon? A moon out here? No. Lonely. This is the Pluto ice planet. What's his name? Okay, look at his name now. There you go. Elu. Jewel. That one probably has a few moons. Yeah, quite a few. So that one's going to be a trick to get to. But anyways, let me get back here. Let's do our first mission. And all these question marks are asteroids that you can that can fly by, and you can actually grab onto them and get them in orbit if you're good enough. I've tried that, but I've never succeeded. I always end up sending people into orbit around the sun. So let's go back anyways, and we're gonna go back in, and we're gonna make our first spacecraft. Alright, so first thing you gotta do, the first thing they make you do, is pick a command pod. So we got this one right here. You can see our current budget right now, or our current deficit, that is 600 for this one measly little spacecraft. And if you right click, you can see all of the stats and stuff about it. See, as you can see, as SAS, I'll get into that. That's very useful on a spacecraft. And then we can also we could actually, if we had enough money, I don't think we have very much money, we could make a real good spacecraft here. And then hopefully land it. That's the first thing we want to do, though. Make sure we can land our spacecraft. So we're going to put one of those parachutes on the top there. And this is something we don't need right now. That's for science. for collecting science. Alright, so let's just put a booster on this. And then let's do this. Put 3 more boosters. And let's kill that record. Alright, and then we got to separate the stages here. You can make another stage. And if you go over the rockets, you can see what the boxes are there. So click on it and drag it in. So all of our rockets will be going off on the first stage, and then our parachutes will be on the second stage. Alright, so I think that's pretty good. And then let's see, we can choose our astronauts here if we go to crew. Do we want Jebediah Kerman? Yeah, I think Jebediah. You're gonna be our main man for a while. Alright, so let's launch the spacecraft. Alright, pretty simple. This is throttle right here for if you have an engine that's not a booster, and these are boosters. So you can't really throttle these up, they just go however fast they go. And then I really don't even know what this is. There's usually 3 different selections here for the nav ball, which is very important, and that's what you're going to be using to fly your spacecraft for the most part. And then there's a whole series of other little trinkets, and I don't really know what they mean right now, but hopefully if you do know what they mean, you can fill me in. You know, your current height, your atmospheric level, regarding whatever planet you're on. See, the nav ball is based on whichever planet you're on. So, say I left Kerbin and went to the moon. This nav ball would be based on the moon once I got within a certain distance of it. And it would no longer be based on Kerbin, so I could get low into the atmosphere and all that, if moon even has an atmosphere. But without further ado, let's get started here. So, we're gonna enter our first stage and fly. So one more thing before we take off, I want to show you SAS. Very important. It helps you keep your spacecraft straight. It'll make automatic adjustments. Try and, like, say I had the nav ball right here. If the spacecraft was naturally tilting to the right, it would try to keep the spacecraft left, so it would make automatic adjustments. And that's very useful for docking and all sorts of things. It becomes very necessary. And then you have all your fuel levels and your contracts shown here. And I think we're gonna make all that. So let's launch. All right, and it's important to note I don't have SAS on. Oh, we're gonna lose some engines here. Oh no, they're gonna overheat. So it's just that one. Alright, so we had a mission. Oopsie daisy. So let's try. Ooh, man, this thing is hard to control. Yeah, notice I'm looking at the nav ball the whole time here. Oh, that's it though. We're gonna reach a maximum. Right there. There we go. Alright, so you can move it while SAS is on, but it's easier to move it when it's not. You see how it stopped moving so rapidly as soon as I put SAS on? That really helps. So let's see what our maximum height's going to be. We're about to reach it pretty soon here. We reached 19,000 feet, completed both of our contracts. Let's get some science while we're up here. So you can get science by looking at the crew report. That's 3.5 science. You record a new crew assessment of the situation. So we are way up there in orbit. We reached the second atmospheric level. And we're about to start coming down. Let's see. Can I do an EVA? Do I want to do an EVA? I feel like that's a bad idea. Jebediah, you got this. Alright. We can do an EVA report to get more science. So, let's get that science. This is the most precarious situation. Yes, I agree. Let's get on board before we get below that second atmospheric level, where it's going to start getting fiery. Oh, it should get started getting fiery. I'm going to take SAS off here, so the spacecraft will naturally go whichever direction it's trying to go. And then once we get within like 8,000 feet, I'm going to deploy our parachutes and we're going to try to land this thing safely. Whoop. And in the future, I will be fast forwarding through. I clicked somewhere. In the future, I will be fast forwarding to try to get past these things quicker. But since this is the first time, let's actually see if we can land this thing perfect. Unless it gets really slow. But it seems to be dropping pretty quick here. As you can see, there's our launch pad. So we landed pretty close. And if the booster breaks here when we hit the ground, we can actually get some surface samples to get more science. Cancel. I was hoping maybe I could get more crew reports, because sometimes you can't even store data. 8 meters per second. That's going to take a while, so I'm just going to fast forward this. Alright, and when we get within 100 feet, I'll cut that. Seems pretty flat area here, though. Great spot to land. Alright, here we go. We're coming down pretty quick. Yeah, just what I thought. Alright, where is the door on this thing? Alright, and make sure the hatch is facing up so we can actually get out. Let's do an EVA. And there's our little Kerman. Alright, Jebediah, let's get out here. You can see he has an RCS backpack on, which allows him to fly in space. He can easily float. And in low gravity areas, he can go pretty quick, actually. Let's get some surface samples here. EVA report. I don't think a spacesuit is entirely necessary to get here, was it? No, I don't think so, Jebediah. But you have one on anyways. Don't backtalk. Now take a surface sample. Yep, looks like dirt. And as you can see, there's a transmit option here. I don't think you can do it outside of the spaceship, actually, but say you're out in space and you got some science, but you're too far away to really, and you don't think you're gonna make it back. You can transmit data to actually get something out of the science you have. So it's not completely wasted, but you waste a huge amount of resources when you do that. So the best thing is to always take it back. So we're gonna keep that, and we're gonna get back in our spaceship here. Oh, you know, actually, let's plant a flag since this is our first landing. Da-da-da, R&D. Alright, site name. First landing. There were many explosions and many failures, but only success. Alright, there we go. So we can always say that was where we landed the first time we played. First landing got. Alright, and before we end this mission, I think the video is actually about to end here. Getting close to as long as I wanted to make it, like 20 minutes, roughly, each video. Let's get back in here, let's recover the vessel, and for all the stuff you recover, you get all the science you had, and then you also get all the money from the parts that you saved. So I got some extra funds here from my parts. Parachute propellant. I had monopropellant? It must have been monopropellant in that spaceship. I don't even know. I didn't think I had any. Anyways, we got all of this science here, which we can now go into that last building. Before we end this, I'm going to show you that. Blah, blah, blah. Reputation. Good job. Now we are better than we were before. We can go in here, and actually, before we do this, let me go turn in our contracts. Alright, yeah, that's what I thought. What is that? Tests, parachute flyer with Kerbal. all that stuff we'll get into next time. But oh, you know what? Actually, they already landed, didn't they? Archives, launch new vessel. We got all that science, all that extra stuff from doing those contracts. I mean, we got it immediately. So let's get out of there and go into science. This is where you research new technologies that you can use in your spacecraft. So there's a whole bunch of things here. There's mystery goo, which is for science, which is very useful and will help you get science a lot quicker, so you can get into orbits and get better gear. This is stacked a coupler to make more intricate spaceships, and then there's a bunch of fuel tanks here for your engines. But I don't think I'm gonna use any of my science just yet. I think we're gonna do that next episode. Thank you for watching. I hope that I make a bunch more episodes of this series, and perhaps I get even better at doing it. But I really appreciate your views, so thank you, and please come back. See you next time.